feel like I would never take that. That's like blood money. Like, it's like, I mean, listen, I've been offered, but I don't want to take it because it just feels like I owe them something. I don't know how she does it where she just doesn't feel like she just takes the money and then does it. I feel so bad about it.
It's just a gift from a friend. What's wrong with that?
No, because we both know it's not.
But they don't. Welcome back to another episode of Pups and Sluts. I am your, or the Modern Flirting, whatever we're on podcast. I'm going to be your host, Laurence. To my left, I'm here with...
The Daily Flirt.
And to my right, I've got the lovely...
Jamie Date. I like that name better, though.
What?
Pups and Sluts.
Pups and Sluts. That should be our next podcast.
Yes.
We can absolutely get that set up.
Another podcast, you guys.
Pups and Sluts. But for this one, it's going to be just us girls. Going to have a little girl time with you guys. I hope that's okay.
Still on the tea.
And the theme that I think we were all kind of geared up and talking about, even though I wish we weren't talking about then because I wanted to save it for this moment. I'm glad finally we can open up on this, is men trying to buy women's affection. This is a pandemic. This is something we keep seeing again and again. First, I thought it was just like mega rich friends. Like we have this one guy we know. But now I think it's like just any guy with just a decent income is trying to do it because you have a friend, we'll call her Rachel. Why don't you tell me what happened in that situation? What's going on here?
I don't know. He just got out of a relationship. My friend Rachel just got out of a relationship. They went on a trip. Nothing like actually happened, but he just started like sending her money and like letting her go places, just taking care of her.
Before we get into the money, the thing that boggles my mind, I was going to put money on this, was this guy takes her on, and by the way, this is her ex's best friend, takes her on a trip to Orlando for like 11 days and nothing happens.
It's not an ex because I actually have a thought about this, about the whole friend thing. It's a guy that she wanted to date. He said he wasn't ready to date, and so nothing ended up happening, so they never dated.
Fair. It's okay. Situationship ex. What do you call it? Ex situationship?
Sure. But I think that's the difference is that, like, because at first I was like, what, you're going to gallivant with his friend? But then I was like, oh, they were never together to begin with, and he kind of broke her heart. A little bit fair game right there. However, I'm doing some other issues with it, but keep going.
So he goes on a trip with Orlando, about 11 days in there. Nothing happens, not a kiss.
They're just friends. They're not trying to like...
See, that's a girl response. Girls are just friends. This guy is
Are you trying to tell me you have no guy friends that would like, you guys are on like a trip or whatever, and you wouldn't like send like 20 guy friends?
Yeah, no.
This is blowing my mind.
See, that's just a hot girl reality. Like there's no
not a hot girl
guy. No, it's okay, Jamie. It's okay. There's no guy out there who's just like, yeah, let me do an all expense paid trip for 11 days to Disney World and Orlando. And oh, by the way, you're struggling with work. Here's how much, $800 and something.
To pay your bills?
To pay your bills because I got you, boo. I'm such a good friend.
She said she wanted to leave, and he was like, why do you want to leave? I bet you it's something that money can solve. And she was like, yeah, like I need to go home because I need to work. I need to like pay for my stuff. And he was like, no, I want you to be here. I don't want to be here alone. So what do you need? And then he just took care of her.
I have told my friends Brent and Albert that I wanted to leave a bar a million fucking times.
I put money on it. Brandon would take care. I put money on it. Brandon would take care of you if you.
Hey, Jared, I kind of
want to leave right now. So then let's go back to my point. Like that's.
No, he doesn't. It's different because they would probably. Oh no!
I'm telling you. Okay.
He just came out of the closet, guys.
I've been out.
You heard it yourself.
Look, guys, I want to hear what you guys think out there. Leave a comment if you think this is platonic man behavior, gifts, money, trips for a friend. I'm not buying it. Am I missing something, Jamie?
No, I mean, honestly, I'm clearly hanging out with the wrong men. No.
She's over here having a pity party. She's just like, where's my friend?
Okay,
friend.
Damn my parents for instilling values in me. I feel like I would never take that. That's like blood money. Like, it's like, I mean, listen, I've been offered, but I don't want to take it because it just feels like I owe them something. I don't know how she does it where she just doesn't feel like she just takes the money and then does it. I feel so bad about it.
It's just a gift from a friend. What's wrong with that?
No, because we both know it's not.
But they don't.
But they do because I've asked her. I was like, you know that he wants to, because this is what I wanted to see.
I was like, let's be honest.
He has a crush on you, right? You know he has a crush on you. He goes, yeah, of course I know this. But you still accept the money? Like, I feel like that's the like, oh, but then I'm like, oh wait, she's 20.
Can we not have your friend, but he has a crush on her?
I mean, like, let's be honest though. If you're single, you're a guy, and a hot girl takes her clothes off, and she like, you would try fucking her. You would fuck her. She's naked in front of you. Like, of course, like,
yes.
Exactly. So,
But
like, but
here's the thing. There's a difference between here's an opportunity with a hot girl and I'm trying to actively create an opportunity with a girl that I have a crush on.
You know what? I think it's
That's the difference.
and this is what I would label a simp. It's funny. Now that I was thinking about it, I feel like people widely misinterpret the word or widely use the term narcissist and simp. But I feel like this is the line that is drawn that this falls into simp category.
Okay.
To actually spend that absorbent amount of money, right? Because some guys will label guys as simp of like, oh, you took her out to dinner twice in a row, like you're a simp or like whatever. And that's not obvious. To me, that's not a simp. But to go in the amount of money, the amount of traveling, the amount, like Disney World itself is expensive. Plus you pay for the hotel, and he has a crush on her and she knows? That's a lot. That's a lot.
All right, let's have a little bit a tournament style of bad things guys can be, and let's see what comes out on top. All right, I just came up with this game in my head, but we're gonna play this now. All right, I got 4 categories, 2 brackets. They're gonna fight, and then they're gonna go for the finals. Okay, on the left, and you both judge if it's a difference. I'm gonna be a tiebreaker. All right, that's how we're gonna do it.
Great.
So here we go. The first category: simp versus pervert. What's worse?
Oh, pervert immediately.
pervert's worse.
Pervert. All right.
Because of uncomfortable.
Pervert gets up there. All right.
Right.
Now, the next one is going to be fuckboy versus annoying.
What's worse?
Yeah. Fuckboy versus annoying.
Annoying, because at least fuckboy, you have fun with them like a little bit.
Do we agree?
I would say annoying, but like it depends what you're looking for, right?
All right. Annoying. So annoying goes up. Annoying versus pervert.
Annoying.
What's worst?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Pervert.
what's worse?
Jesus
Pervert.
Christ,
Pervert's the
pervert.
word? All right.
I
Fine.
said fuck. Okay, so I misunderstood. I say fuck boys more like worse to me than annoying.
Right. Okay. Why is that?
What do you mean? I mean, it depends on what you want. Like personally, I feel like a fuck boy, like I just like avoid that. Like okay, whatever. Like or a fuck boy, just go fuck around. Really care. We're friends. What's good?
But I see your point too. If a fuckboy can sometimes still get a girl, annoying.
Well, no,
like,
I'm
if you're a
actually,
fuckboy, you don't want
to
a
be honest
girl.
with you, I'm thinking about myself, right? Like what I think is worse, right? So fuckboy, I think is better than annoying, because annoying, there's no value in you. You're pissing me off from day one. Fuckboy, at least you can be fun. I know now I learned that you're just fucking around with other girls. Okay, I'll move on and I'll be fine.
All right, but hot and annoying or ugly and fuckboy?
Hot and annoying or ugly and fuck.
Hot and
Oh,
annoying.
Fuck, that's a hard one.
Hey, we got
Let me think about that one for a second. Hot and annoying or
Ugly and a fuckboy. Wow.
Hot and annoying would be better.
Okay, so annoying can be fuckboy. If
Yeah, because I value. I mean, at least you're something good to look at,
there you go.
right?
Hot and annoying or ugly and fuckboy?
Hot and annoying.
Hot and annoying. All right,
So you're
so we'll get fuckboy in there. All right, so fuckboy versus pervert.
Oh wait, what's more annoying? Oh my
What's
god,
worse?
I'm choosing which one's better. I'm so
All right,
dumb.
which is worse? And
Just
she's blind for a reason. Okay, which is worse, fuckboy or pervert?
pervert.
Pervert.
All right, now bonus round coming out of nowhere. Pervert versus, and this is the big one, but pervert's pretty strong. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, it's the same thing. But no, you have to have one clear winner. Pervert versus creep.
Yeah, but I feel like pervert is a flavor of creep.
I know you're gonna say that. I literally said you were gonna say.
I feel like it's like a euphemism.
pervert versus creep. What is the title as a guy?
Which one's worse?
Yes.
Pervert, pervert, because I feel like. Well,
I'm gonna
fuck.
say creep.
Creep is
Yeah.
Because creep is the classic
I
one.
feel like they're
But you
synonyms.
never get pervert's almost like so bad. It's almost like a
But it's
hearing.
like
It's also like
everyone
a.
has weird fetishes. So like if you have a fetish, are you a pervert?
So, yeah.
I'm thinking okay, so
That's what-
what
Yeah, I go to
is our
pervert to get sexual.
definition of pervert, right? So like
Into weird sexual shit. But creep is like.
actually, okay, well then that changes all. If that's where we're going off of the definition, that changes all
What
my
do
answers.
you think a pervert is?
A pervert is a guy that makes a girl feel uncomfortable.
They all do. Annoying does. Creepy does. Pervert
No,
does.
no, no. But pervert's more like sexually uncomfortable, which I feel like bridges a gap of like extreme safety. Annoying is whatever. Annoying is just
Let's
annoying.
say safety, because once safety's in there, now we got like okay, serial killer wins.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Pervert,
No,
I'm like
pervert-
labeling it
pervert
that.
is a guy that's like into weird, like.
Oh, listen, I ain't
really
gonna
weird sexual shit.
yuck on anyone's yum. All right, no kink shaming here. No kink shaming
You
here.
just yucked on all the yum.
No.
You said pervert's the worst. Then?
Well, because I was going off of a different
All right.
definition.
So creep wins then. Creep is the worst?
Creeps are
Creep wins.
creeps are worse.
Yeah.
So is there anything worse than creep? As a guy, needy? No. I mean,
if you like the guy, you kind of like neediness. It depends.
Yeah, no, creep, because I feel like at the end of the day, creep gives you that cringe feeling that nobody likes.
Right.
And women, it's like directly toward, like that feeling is directly towards us, which makes us even feel worse. And then it's like, okay, how do we get out of this situation? Because then you run the risk of like, okay, what if he gets angry? What if he gets, fucking even extra creepy? Because I feel like a lot of stalker situations that happen from creeps happen after they get rejected. So it's like, it kind of crosses again that like safety bracket that's like, ugh.
So, okay, so let's talk, again, safety thing is its own category here, but here's the psychological thing that a lot of guys keep finding that is just so annoying as a man, but we see it again and again, is Mr. Hot, Tall, Jack guy says something or does something. Oh, hee, ha, ha, so cute. Oh my God. Short, fat, balding, ugly guy says the exact same thing in the exact same situation. Oh my God, what a creep.
Look at Family Guy Peter Griffin. No, he's funny as fuck.
But that's a cartoon. That's not a real life. He fights a chicken. All right, he's go over there beating on cocks and shit. That's not a
Same.
I don't. Well, that's your personal life. We're not even gonna get personal
I
life.
feel like there's like chunky, funny men that women love.
Absolutely. But we're missing the forest for the trees here. What I'm saying is, if an ugly guy says something, can it be seen as creepy, and then a hot guy says the exact same thing, and it's totally fine and okay? Because if that's the case, is creepy just a level of attractiveness, or is creepy lack of social intelligence?
I feel like it also depends on how it's said.
Sure, yes, but I also think where you're getting at is, yes, men who are more attractive in our eyes get more leeway, but the same can be said about women, right? If I say something, remotely stupid, people aren't going to call me out if I'm a really pretty hot girl, but if I was a relatively ugly or fat girl, people would be like, what a fucking idiot, or like,
Yes
whatever.
and no.
Really.
How many you guys
or they would just be different and then just call you different names, like, oh, she's just a dumb blonde.
Yeah, thank you.
Or she's just fat
You guys are
stupid.
both online. You guys get the hate comments, dumb
What
blonde.
hate comments?
Leave one below, by the way. Please leave us some dumb blonde comments. We love it. We eat your hate. But seriously, like, you guys get it no matter what. I think pretty, ugly, like.
No, for sure. But I feel like when it comes to being an attractive girl versus non-attractive girl, unattractive girls are almost invisible.
Yes.
So no matter what they say, it doesn't even phase men at all, which I feel like is also its form of worse. So yes, to your point, when you are more attractive as a girl or a guy, you get more leeway with whatever it is you say.
Albert and I have a saying: there's nothing worse than going through life as an ugly woman, but there's nothing better in life than going through it as an attractive woman. Like, it is the polar opposites of amazingness, and men are just like kind of like in the middle there.
Well, it's a reality that you men created.
Hey, go to the patriarchy. Like, go brothers, go. No, but seriously, yeah, it's a reality we created. But like, it's just that's I guess not facts, but that's just kind of the reality I've seen. How it was created, why. So I don't know. That goes. We're gonna go into the medieval ages here, but like, that is. Am I wrong? Is there nothing?
Listen, I'd like to think of myself as attractive, so I don't want to put words in an unattractive person's mouth. But sure, listen, yeah, I see it. I see it oftentimes, especially with some of my friends, how differently they get treated. However, I will say what I've noticed is that there is a scope that is changing. I feel like guys, because of the importance of peer approval and things like that, winning the girl over, the friends of the girl over, is so important to attraction that men are now looking at maybe the unattractive friend and not seeing them as invisible, but seeing them as actually, okay, there is a motivation to become friends with them, and then potentially actually just becoming friends with them through that process.
All right, so who do you think is going through life harder, unattractive men or unattractive women? Or who's more invisible, unattractive men or unattractive? What's it like being an unattractive man?
Just based off looks, like, we're not counting personality, nothing. Just an
unattractive, going through life, unattractive man, or going through like unattractive woman. What would be worse and why?
Oh my God, woman, immediately.
Harder for women, I would say. Yeah.
I think my take on
But
this?
also it depends, like in the dating scene or like in the workforce or like.
Yeah, but so much of how you get treated is so interchangeable, even like through dating, through work. You know what I'm saying? Like at least an ugly man can still be taken seriously, whereas an ugly woman, you have to try twice, 3 times as hard to get anywhere.
Yeah.
I think an ugly man will have it better in all areas of life except for dating. Except for dating. I think when we see evidence of this, right? Like ugly women don't get taken seriously. They're not getting paid the same. They're struggling, to be, build friendships and whatever the stuff, right? Taken seriously, anything, right? Get roles. But when dating, you can be an unattractive woman on Tinder and you're getting matches. You can be an unattractive woman on Instagram and you still got the flame emojis, the comments, your girlfriend are blowing you up. You still got guys sliding in those DMs. I don't care if you're, Big Betty over there. But as an unattractive guy, crickets. In dating, that's real invisibility.
Okay, so I'm going to add to that, right? So yes, I agree with you. However, the reality of a lot of these unattractive women is that even the guys that are matching with them, even the guys that are sliding into DMs, they hide them. This is a very true story that I actually have a few friends that this happened to, where they never actually take them out to meet their friends. They never actually, the guy never takes the girl out to meet the friends. Like the girl thinks that, oh, I really like this guy, we're dating, and really he's just like, oh, she's an easy lay, and like hides her, which is honestly,
No, don't say that's worse. Don't say that's worse. Don't say that's worse.
I think it's worse.
I will debate that right here, right now. You think getting bad attention, getting sexual gratification,
being
getting
tricked
taken out
like
to
that
dinner,
versus being
Getting played.
You're sad.
Anyone can get played,
You're getting
though.
played. You're getting played, and it's sad and it's heartbreaking. And you like a guy, and it gets ruined. But you're still getting taken out to dinner. You're still getting social interaction. You're still getting some affection, even if it was a lie at the beginning. You're still feeling. These men are out there getting nothing. They have no compliments. Imagine a world no one sees you, no compliments.
men don't get enough compliments. You're right.
They are not getting any affection. They are not being told by anyone other than their mom that they are appreciated and liked. They're fuming, and that's why you have these like violent MGTOW incel. There's no incel woman movement of bitter women out there. You have upset women. You have women like what you said, like no one's taking me seriously. We're all the good guys, whatever. But you don't have like I'm gonna shoot up a thing. Like you don't have people like really just going. I am stewing alone. Like imagine if life was like solitary confinement in a jail. That's what it's like. Now, it's not that, but no, granted, I'm going a little dramatic. It's not as bad as that because I'm sure they still can find their peers, their other guys who can empathize. They can still find men's support groups. They can still go and like me play Magic Gathering in a comic book store. I was the ugly fat guy for far too long. Thank God 2 years ago in Tulum changed me a little bit. But the point is, like, there's, these guys are really, the fact that we don't know too much about it, and only because of what I do, I think I actually will really get into it. But I think the fact that we don't know is just more evidence of they're invisible. They're just invisible. Or the only time you see them are those weird like flame emojis or like, you so beautiful, marry me, I take you to island, and da-da-da. Like, that's it. They get no other.
I mean, the reality is, okay, well then what's the one value point that's going to bring the girls in? So you can be a really, really ugly guy and have money, and then your dating life gets better.
Well,
a really, really ugly girl
also,
who has
what
money,
kind of girls
the
are
guy
you
doesn't really
attracted?
give a shit because they don't want to be seen with her to begin with.
Well, Anna, let's get your daily flirt.
Also, we're doing the thing where it's like, what's worse, men or women? And this is like the argument that, is a tale all the time. Does it ever end up going anywhere?
Well, this circles back to a point you just made here. I don't want to get Anna's take on this. Is if guys have money, is that the complete game changer? Like because I think you and I personally, I'm not going to say names obviously here, but we've seen that not to be the case, shockingly. That not to be the case.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Where like guys have, I had a female friend of mine guy offered to buy her an island. Right? Like an island. Or something crazy, right? And he did get other stuff. Like,
This girl is very hot in real life.
she's gorgeous, but still, but that didn't work. So it's like, how much influence does money have, honestly?
I mean, it changes the type of dates you can like take your lady on to like impress her and stuff. But like at the end of the day, if like it leads to nowhere, she's just using you. Is that like what this is leading to? I feel like
if you have enough money, but you don't have game, you don't have personality, you can't make a girl feel the right emotions, what can that just the bank account itself or flashing the cash create attraction, or is it just like, bro, like
I mean, I don't know. Like maybe if you go on one trip and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, I'll like spend the rest of my life with this guy. I mean, it's very rare. I don't know.
Who would get a girl 9 days in the Bahamas on a crazy trip like that? Like that wouldn't work for anybody. What?
No, I mean, obviously, I think it depends on the girl, right? Like, again, for me and for that girl, if a guy offered me to buy me an island, like, again, I would feel indebted to him in a weird way, which makes me feel ugly. And also, but again, I also have other financial options, I think. I think the whole trope of the gold digger doesn't exist as much as it used to, right? With the rise of prenups, with the rise of the rich guy's kids getting involved with the divorce and not letting, and also women having more financial options of being able to climb the corporate ladder a lot easier. It just the idea of the gold digger, I think, isn't as prevalent as it was maybe back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Gold diggers is a transaction thing. I want a lifestyle. You can provide it. Let's hook up and be with you.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
No. Exactly. That's what I'm going to clarify. What I'm talking about, and as women, I want to get your thing on this is, I'm not saying with you specifically. I'm just saying women you've seen or whatever. If a guy has enough money and flash enough money, does that alone actually create real attraction?
I think it adds. I don't think it's full. All right. So I think a guy that is extremely unfit, a guy that is maybe extremely awkward, a guy that's really, whatever. A guy that's, really good at his business, big in his business, but very awkward maybe in real life. If he has a lot of money, yes, that's going to be in place. Because the way that I like to describe it is everyone has a cup. Right? And you fill your cup up with what I call like value points. So you're either really attractive, funny, whatever fills your cup,
so
right?
It is a value point. It is something
it's a big value point,
so
right?
by itself will create attraction in you.
Correct. But again, if you only have money in that cup, you're going to attract a certain girl that is only looking for a certain lifestyle and may not be in it for anything except for that.
What do you feel?
I mean, like everyone has like a certain love language. If you're the type of girl that likes like presents, for example, if you're with a guy that can't give you presents, he can't like make you happy. So like.
No, that's fair. I mean, I don't even think of the love language.
Yeah, I mean, some girls like presents. Some people like just attention. Like say you like multiple things. Like if he can't provide one of those things, you won't want to be him in the long term. I feel like a lot of girls, first of all, want a man with money is they want stability. Like if they're like looking long term, like, oh, I want to be with someone that has money because I want to have a family and I don't want to be worried. Like it makes sense. Like maybe she makes money too and she doesn't want to be the breadwinner. She wants someone that makes the same amount of money or more. It doesn't matter. Like personally, I can't see myself with someone that makes less than me, period. And if you make more than me, that's fucking amazing. But if you don't make at least what I make, I'm like, you're bringing nothing to the table.
My love language is puppies. I'm just going to go on record and say
Puppies and sluts.
Sluts is also a strong second.
My thoughts have actually changed on this recently. So, and actually this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, feminine and masculine. So I've never had a guy, I hear all these stories from my friends and from your friends of all these guys buying all these gifts and extravagant things and whatever. And I'm sitting over here and I'm like, that's never happened to me. And I think for a large part of my life, especially being in a capitalistic society where the only way that you're able to get very far in a capitalist society is displaying masculine.
Not political. We love all our viewers, conservative and liberal.
No, but I mean, think about it. If you live in this world that we live in, right? You had to, in order to get ahead by yourself, you have to show quote unquote masculine qualities like dominance, assertiveness, hustler, motivate. You know what I mean? All these go-getterness, right? And so with that, I've had to lean into my masculine. And I think because of that, I've chosen men that, I've always dated men that do make less money than me until recently.
Wow.
Also in my 20s, I feel like everyone was broke, but I actually made some good money.
Which is really great because you've been making a lot more money recently. So that's a crazy flop.
So now I dated this one guy. I'm not going to name names, but he's created a few shows on Netflix. Does very well.
Vince Vaughn?
How'd you know? No. But and in that moment, I got to see that lifestyle. He was starting to take me out on, maybe not buy me an island kind of money, but taking me out on nice dates. And I was like, you know what? I really like this, but it wasn't necessarily for the dates. It's because myself, I'm a product of my environment. And when I see him working really hard, guess what it makes me do? I want to work really hard.
I have masterminds for that.
And it makes me also remember my old relationships where the guy that I used to date, you know, he made similar money than me, maybe a little more, a little less, but he didn't really work very hard. And guess what it made me do? Not really work really hard. So I want to date a man that is ambitious, that does make money, because it makes me want to be a better person, right? Like a better person, you know, financially, whatever. And then one more thing. I also started dating another guy that also makes, you know, he's commercial real estate, whatever. And he's very masculine, Israeli guy. And for the first time, I felt very feminine. And he told me, he's like, it's almost embarrassing if I marry someone and she works for another man. I would ask her what her salary is. I'd pay her double to quit. And now she.
And that's how you get indentured slavitude.
And I was like,
brilliant.
kind of into it.
Brilliant. Yeah.
At first, I was like, my like
Indentured
inner
service is
American
hot.
masculine. I was like, no, fuck. And then I was like, wait a minute. Actually, that sounds really fucking nice. So, you know, all I have to do is worry about the kids and cook at home and still get
No,
paid.
it's super nice. You give up any source of independent income. And then a few years go by and it says, babe, we're moving to Saudi Arabia. And if you don't like it, go homeless. Like, that's a real thing. By the way, that's a real tactic.
Well, like, if they're actually, if they're paying you double, hypothetically, if they're paying you double, I would just hope that no matter what, you would be smart enough to like put some away. Because like, God forbid, you always like.
You'd be smart enough. I think a lot of women would not be smart enough, and then they get caught in a really bad situation.
I would hide it in Switzerland. That's what all the rich people are doing, right?
Can you spell Switzerland?
This isn't spelling bee, okay?
Yeah, this isn't a spelling podcast.
This is the
all
wrong
right?
podcast.
Yeah.
This is Sluts and Pups.
You did bring up another good point. Sluts and Pups. We're creating this podcast. You brought up a good point on the whole relationship thing. I think you do this actually incredibly well. And when you were saying that, I'm like, wow, that's so true. Is you're able to inspire me and push me to, you know, be healthier, to grow the business. I think one of the reasons I wanted to, you know, be dating you in the first place, because you're like entrepreneurial like me, and you see that vision. But at the same time, you're also in your feminine, where you're like, you like to cook, you like to clean. Maybe a little too OCD at times, but I'm not going to complain, whatever. So you have that feminine nurturing side as well. And, you know, I think a lot of men out there think it has to be one or the other with women. Mm-hmm. You're a perfect example of that's not always the case. And I think guys should stop. I think if I had the mentality, I honestly believe this. If I had the mentality that I think a lot of men have that, especially in the red pill type of movement out there, which is like, all women are this, all women that. American women have lost their femininity, and they're all blah, blah, blah. I would admit and be like, oh man, this girl is not, you know, this, that, or the other. I would come in my preconceived notions versus the idea of, hey, I want this. Let me meet a girl in this range. Just know that she exists. She's out there. And she is, guys. She is. She's out there. Case in point. And then you fan like a flame that side of her to make it the perfect relationship.
Yeah.
And this is something I think we were just talking about earlier is our relationship is something we're always striving to improve on. So like I'll notice things I do that might for example, here's a small thing, a real thing in a relationship. It's a small thing, but I don't think you're gonna mind me sharing this one.
No, that's fine.
All right, involves my dildo, but it's she got mad because she would cook a meal.
I don't get mad. I just get disappointed. This is a real thing.
Is that the most Jewish thing you've ever heard?
This is a real thing. So it's
mom
like,
thing.
imagine
She was in preparation.
That's
So imagine you're like cooking food and then like, you know, you're serving it and you're about to sit down and then you sit down and the other person's already ate everything. And you're like, I didn't even eat one bite. You're already done. Now you're walking into the other room and it's like, okay, it's fine. I just made dinner. I'm going to eat by myself and I'm going to clean up by myself. Bye.
Just quality time and you're not giving it to her.
But my part of mine is quite. My point is, I was absent-minded.
But he didn't even think about it. Like it's different. It's like, okay, I'm gonna eat really quick. I have to go work. No, completely fine. I started making food late.
I thought verbal affirmation. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm trying to like, thanks, babe. This is a delicious meal. I'm gonna track how delicious it is. You know, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I did my job. I ate it. It's good. I told you. Now I'm gonna go back to doing my day, doing my stuff without even thinking. But
a small change that you can do to better the relationship, make me happier, is just like do whatever you're doing. Come a little bit later when I'm ready to sit down with you. When it's ready, we eat together, and then it's
trying to
not.
come later. It's hard. No, but seriously, like, did I? So once you told me that, what have I started doing?
Now you wait. Losing my voice. Now you wait. Now it's better.
And that's, to me, that's a never, ending journey of relationship, she's training me, and I'll honestly,
Fucking simp.
no, she's training me on how I can be a better boyfriend. And it's up to me to appreciate her enough to say, hey, I want to be a better boyfriend. Yes, tell me what to do. I'm going to do that. While at the same time, I'm training her on what I need on how to be a better girlfriend. And these are things that I want to see more of. And when both partners are trying to, improve on that, that's the best relationship. That's a constant, and I don't think that's ever going to end. I hope we're 80 years old and we're still figuring stuff out that we can make better.
This
like,
is
that's
the
goal.
workings, and they've actually studied this. So, are you familiar with? It's a couple, but they've come out with all these studies about the best makings of a long-term relationship.
Alex and Layla Hormozy, power couple.
No. The Gottmans are a psychologist.
Gottmans?
Gottmans.
That's a made-up name.
No, Gottmans.
The Gottmans?
Gottmans.
Gob?
Sounds like goblins.
Are they cousins of the Gobbledygooks?
Oh my God! Yes, they
Harry Potter.
them for sure. No, but one of the things that they talk about of what is a great makings of a long-term relationship is not holding contempt. And so this
Oh,
is
dear
my
God, I hope
also right.
You know what else is great? Not murdering your partner.
Well, no. Hear me out.
All right.
So what they were saying is a lot of couples, they run into this problem over time where it's like they start talking to each other with with an air of superiority. Right. So like you're like my idiot husband is this and he doesn't know how to do anything and clean this up because you're useless or like, you don't do this for me or you don't have sex with me. So in that way, you kind of form this like relationship over time that just comes from like a place of hierarchy. And that's the thing that kills the relationship more than anything else. And so going back to what you're saying with like the incels and the red pill, they're already coming with the mindset that they are above.
Yeah.
And already they're putting themselves back of what could help them into a healthier relationship and make them change their views of women to begin with.
I don't know if they really think they're above. I think they pretend to think they're above. I think they see women as above them and are pissed off about it.
Really? Ooh, see, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like some of them actually believe that they're better, and we haven't.
I see through that. I see all through that. These are guys who are bitter and turned down by women and neglected and rejected and made to feel inferior. So now they're overcompensating by doing beating their chest and being like, I'm the look at me, any guy has to be like, look how good I am. I'm the alpha. Look at me, I'm the alpha. It's like, you're not. Like the alpha to me is like the lion. Mm-hmm. He just chills, he eats, he fucks, there's no problem. But if there is a problem, now he roars, now he comes out. But it's not, like these are the hyenas. They're just yapping. They're yapping, they're like, I'm a predator, I'm so good, I'm so amazing. And it's like, just chill down, like simmer down, right? Like these are the guys you see who are like, and to be fair, I will say this about the Red Pill movement, it has, which it shouldn't have. This should have been so common fucking sense, but it has helped guys move the needle on their looks, on their physicality, on making more money, on like, all right, let me actually do things to better myself. But why did we need a movement to tell you to make more money and get in shape? How are we missing that piece of the equation? Why is that a renaissance or a new profound concept? Like, I see the truth now. The red pill showed me the truth.
But that's what
I should be in shape and make money.
That's what I feel about guys who love Andrew Tate. They're like, sure.
I'm trying to avoid the name.
Some of his
You're gonna come up.
Sorry, I have to.
All right.
He's like, some of the stuff like is whatever, but he really makes me feel. I'm like, you needed him to say. I was like, so many people have said the same thing. So many people have told you, given you the blueprint of how to get better physically, financially, mentally. But why do you choose to follow his when really there's so many other guys saying it that don't have literally.
Like more people are Googling Andrew Tate than Tony Robbins, who's like, I've
been on this game.
I've been telling you this since the 90s. So like, hey, better your life in all these amazing ways. And it's like, no. I want to hear this Romanian guy who hates women. Like, what's up, bro?
Yeah, but
tell me the bro.
It does. There is something to be said about the motivator of a common villain, right? So like, if women are the use as a motivating factor to do something. So they also come out with this study where it's like, why for evolutionary purposes, why do negative feelings, like why do we still have them if they're so all bad, if they don't really contribute to anything, if negative feelings just keep us down, why do we still have them?
All right, well, Anna, why do you think we still have negative feelings?
Because you can't communicate.
Could be.
So-
It's not able to get rid of them. Is because from an evolutionary standpoint, why not? Why have we not evolved? Which we might still. Hey, give us some time. I mean, God, I feel like we were just chimps like a few generations ago. So maybe sometime we will. But why do you think we haven't evolved past negative feelings? It's just it's a weird. It's like, why have we not evolved from eating? You know, it's just ingrained. It's just something we are.
So what they found is that these negative feelings act as that's gasoline to the car. It's the thing that changes us more than anything. Because think about it, if you're happy and complacent, how much do you change? You don't. But when you're sad and depressed, you can actually use that as fuel to catapult yourself to from where you are.
All right, I'll play devil's advocate. I like it. I get the answer.
This is what the study says.
No, I get the answer. But here's what I think the study didn't take into consideration, because I'm a better scientist and I know best. I think immediately is if we didn't have negative feelings, they existed, the presumption is now that we would just be a society that's completely unmotivated. But what if, because we don't have those feelings anymore, we now see the most motivating thing is this new thing? And then that becomes the biggest source of motivation, because it would be. Unless we were completely demotivated, something else would rise and become the thing that truly motivates us. Right?
But it wouldn't be negative, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it'd be some positive thing. Maybe it would be aspiration. Maybe it would be art. Maybe it would be sex. Maybe whatever. But something else would take its place by definition, unless the claim, I'm getting so nerdy on this, but unless the claim is that all motivation would die with negative feelings.
I don't think it's all motivation, but it's a very strong one.
Sure. But again, because we just tap into that, right? But if that was gone, who's to say we wouldn't tap into the positive or something else, and that would be the strong one? Because we wouldn't have anything to compare it to. It'd be, unless we're a completely demotivated society.
Well, I mean, if you really think about an evolutionary standpoint, right? So fear, negative feelings like that, that's the thing that kept us safe to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. So without it, we'd get eaten.
Right. And rape is what got us to reproduce back in the day, but we've evolved past that. Well, not everyone, I guess. But hopefully as society, we're going that direction. You know, hunting back in the day was the necessary way of getting food. We've evolved past that. So as we evolve, the things that helped in the past no longer become relevant anymore.
I would go so far as to say, even if we don't have negative feelings, I don't think we would be as motivated, because even the best artists are the ones that are, the most depressed, are the ones that have the most anxiety.
All right, you heard it here from Jamie Dade. Stay depressed, but keep you motivated.
No, use it. Use it as fuel. Use it as fuel. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get motivating. Sorry.
Anything motivated you in life, or do you feel like you had to hit rock bottom to get motivated, or?
I feel like I just like to look at people that look similar to me and how successful they are and all their achievements. And I'm like, well, if they can do it, why can't I?
See, that's aspirational. That's
Comparison is a thief of joy.
I'm not saying you're going to be having a lot of joy from it, but
No, I like to use it. It's like, when people create a dream board, it's like, what is everything that you want? Print it all out, put it in front of you. Now, what am I going to do every single day to get towards my goals, to get towards everything that I want?
See,
dream board.
And look, on Anna's point, comparison is a thief of joy if you're upset by where you are. And it's a perception, a feeling, right? If you look at where you are and you feel gratitude for it, and then look at someone above you, you can be inspired and go, that's awesome.
Right.
I want that.
Yeah, if you could have both, that's great. You have to be happy where you are. You have to know what you want, and you have to really go after it.
The only way
The ultimate reframe.
The only way it's a thief of joy is if I have a barrier to that success. The moment I don't
Then
believe,
I feel like you're not trying, though, if there's a barrier. What barrier you're creating it? Like,
because you have a healthy mindset. But there's a lot of people who will compare themselves to someone richer than them, more fit than them, have more attractive women than them, and they will go, well, it's easy for that guy. He's tall, or he's comes from money, or he's insert thing I'm not.
Yeah.
And they'll create an illusionary barrier that says, well, he can do it, I can't, and now I'm mad because exactly. But you have a positive mindset. Like, you have so many guys need your mindset of that's stupid. I've had your mindset too. When I got into pickup, when I got into business, I was at rock bottom in both times of my life. Even fitness to a degree, maybe it wasn't as big of a hit for me, but even fitness, I was obese, I was awful with women, I was penniless, and I looked at these guys, and it wasn't a thief of my joy. It was like, holy shit, it's possible. Oh my God. Like, wait, someone can show me. I have a plan. Like, this is amazing. Like, I can figure it out. it was awesome. It was hope. So because
Changing that negative to hope is, I think, the key, right?
yeah, if you look at someone who's better at you than life and you feel a loss of joy, then you are looking at it the wrong way. You need to look at it as a source of hope, because I think a cliche that if he can do it, I can do it. There's nothing stopping you. I sound like the weirdest. I'm not to stop myself here. I sound like the cheesiest Hallmark card right now. Like there's nothing stopping you but you. But it's so.
I mean, I
damn
feel like
true.
it sucks if you're your biggest enemy and you're stopping yourself from getting towards your goals. Usually, it's other people's comments that like bring you down, or like old family members or whatever. But like if you're the first person that's in your way, that's just kind of like, what is happening?
That's a better way. Thank you. That's a better way of doing it than my cheesy Hallmark way. Like if you're stopping you,
Yeah.
you don't need the outside world to give you hurdles. You don't need someone else to insult you.
You're
don't
doing
need,
such an injustice to yourself and your future.
Yeah.
It's just like
you're not even getting
Wake up.
going.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you are destroying any. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy now. Whether it's that first approach, whether it's start a business, well, there's no way I can start a business, or there's no way I can, approach that pretty girl or figure this out, or set up the pictures, which if you need help, check out Jamie D on TikTok. She'll show you what to do. But selfless plug. The point, but seriously, like I think so many guys, they give up by just beating themselves down. They don't need to compare themselves. The comparison is a thief of joy when they've already in their heads ruined it for themselves. They've already down.
Well, there's that phrase, and it's like, if you want it for your life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, then you'll find an excuse. Right? So it's like one or the other. So figuring out where you're at, I think you're right. Like when you believe in yourself and you see someone else and compare, it gives you hope, but also understand that you don't have to do the exact same way.
No.
Life is a jungle gym, not a ladder, right? You can get up different ways.
One of my mentors, I've had many mentors over the years. Shout out to Sergio Tavares, amazing mentor of mine. And, he actually, I think, put it really best, or, said something profound for me, is he goes, look, the mind is amazing once it's made a decision. Once it's decided to do something, it will find a fucking way. If you put in your mind, like, I'm going to make $50,000 a month, I'm going to do it. I've decided. Like, I don't care if it's crazy. I've decided. And here's the thing with delusional people, damn, I gave it away. Successful people, the trait all successful people have, I'm convinced on this, is we are delusional. There is not a successful person who's not fucking delusional at some point, because it takes to be delusional to come from a place where you have nothing, you're a failure, you literally just like, I have no reason to believe this is possible, and then to make it possible, to get good with women, to get in the best shape of your life, to make $1 million, right? Like,
I feel like also like I already know your opinion on this book. I don't think you like it, The Secret. I feel like this is like you've manifested, and a lot of people I feel like say
like manifest, but
yeah, they're like, you're delusional, you're not going to manifest it, and I'm like, what?
Okay, I'll explain.
I'm so big on that. I remember being at home like when I was like 15 in my dad's house, and I was reading that book in the bathtub, and I was like, I want this, I want this, I want that, and then like at 20, I got everything like I wanted from then. And I was like, what I used to tell myself is, I'm going to have this. I already have it. It's just a matter of when I'm going to get it. And then I had it all, and I was like, this is
there is something to be said about speaking something into existence, because I've also felt that too. Because to be honest with you, I used to be in your camp, right? I think you and I both agree, like the whole woo-woo thing, I have my qualms with it. But when it comes to manifesting, I think that maybe it's just we label it differently. You say delusions, we say manifest, right? I feel like at the end of the day, I myself have experienced this too. One of my huge things that I started speaking into existence was I want to own my own business, and I want to be able to travel and work at the same time, right? To be a digital nomad as soon as I started meeting them in my real life. And I swear to God, a year later, I was doing it. And it was, and I think there is something to be said, like the vision boards, where you start seeing it, you start speaking it, you start talking about it with your friends. And there is that sort of woo-woo magical element that I have, qualms about, that I will say there is, because I've experienced it in my life.
Yep. I take the woo out of it though. To me, it's not woo. To me, it's scientific, and this is why
it's like you're manifesting it by doing what? Putting in the work.
Okay, so just
Showing up
hold on.
for
Let me take over on this. Hold on. You manifest that way because you have success mindsets.
Yeah.
You at 23 was able to generate a substantial. I'm not going to say the number. A substantial amount of wealth that most people your age they can't even. They would never have. Right. You have success mindsets in place that make thinking, oh, let me just manifest, and then magically it happens. But for a lot of people who are manifesting or doing The Secret, it's doing jack shit because they think,
But
because,
you know
wait, because they're not interpreting the way you are.
Yeah.
The way they're interpreting it is, let me wish upon a star, and I've literally heard this, the universe will provide. I don't have to do anything. I will manifest.
Okay, that's true.
I will sit here manifesting, putting out rays.
Thoughts and prayers,
manifesting
Right, yeah.
The Secret, and they're waiting for like a taxi to roll up and be like, all right, here's your business. Here's the money that the universe owed you. You manifested hard. Good for you. Oh my God. And what's really happening, let's take the woo out of this. What I believe is happening is a simple thing called the reticular activation system. That's all that is. And for those who don't know, reticular activation system is once you have something in your brain, let's say the number 7, you think about the number 7, all of a sudden, magically, you see the number 7 wherever you go. There's a number 7, there's a number 7, there's a number 7. Tony Robbins has a great way, or other life could have a great way of tricking people into their RAS, reticular activation system. He will say, and ladies, I'm going to do this thing with you. I want you guys to look around the room and take notice of everything that's red. All right, let's get your reactive. What everything red, look around the room, seriously. Let's see it. Just keep in your mind. You're getting the whole vision here. Now, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Now, Anna might be cheating because she lives here. Close your eyes. But Jamie, let's say Jamie, name everything in the room that's blue. You're fucked.
So fucked.
Right? But if you open your eyes, all of a sudden you see blue shit. Blue shit. Blue shit. You saw it. It was in front of you. Blue shit. It was sky. But you didn't see it. So what The Secret is doing is it's just making you only look for and see evidence and proof of that which you are manifesting, that which you desire, so that you can take action on that shit. That's the science of it. There's no like universe is just magically providing whatever woo. But if you believe in that, hey, no hate. I'm not trying to like take away from it. I just think, yes, if you want something, make it front of mind, have the goal, put it in your head. But now the next step, that's mindset. I literally call it the map. You need the map. The first one is mindset. We could call that manifesting. We can call it The Secret. I just call it like thinking like a successful
I think it's
person.
one and the same is what you're saying, right? So
It's
like
close. I mean,
you're
it's-
putting things to your front of your mind. Some people, for me especially, talking it out loud is putting it on the forefront of my mind.
I just think to get successful at something, you need MAP, mind the map.
We love our acronyms here.
Read the acronyms: PES, MAP, SIMP, whatever. MAP, I don't know actually if SIMP's an acronym, but
I was gonna say, is it?
maybe not. M is your mindset. You have to start off with that. If you don't start off with that, you're not going to see it. You're going to, like you were saying, you're going to just shoot yourself in the foot. You're going to be negative, and you're just going to be like, you're going to beat yourself up. When you have the mindset, now don't just wait for The Secret. Take action, fail, fuck up, take massive action that goes with the mindset to do whatever it is you're doing. And as you fail and succeed, you put together your processes. You find your processes, what works, what doesn't. Let's make tweaks that only come after action. There's so many people who will put P first, where they're like, I need the right process before I can take action. I need everything right. I need to tweak everything before I actually just put stuff out there and just do shit. And these are perfectionists. And the perfectionists, we used to work for one back in the day. You remember the perfectionist who had noble intentions, a little militant, but whatever. But he was a perfectionist. And he could not grow his company to save his life. He couldn't do it.
And it's funny that you say that because there's one thing that I've noticed a common theme amongst our clients that have approach anxiety is that the ones that struggle the most with approach anxiety are our biggest perfectionists because they're too afraid to make mistakes. Yes. And that's what I've realized just working through them, right? And so it's an uphill battle to be able to kind of break it down because what I noticed too, alternatively, the most successful people they're so quick at making decisions because they know that, okay, if they make the decision and they get the result that they want, great. If they make a decision and they don't get the result that they want, they'll adjust accordingly.
Yes. And when you're successful at stuff, you start trusting yourself more. You're like, I've been successful. I've done it before. I start trusting my gut.
Right.
I don't have all the information, but I start trusting my gut, and I go, I just take action with it.
I feel like mistakes could be your biggest teacher.
Yes.
If you look at it the right way.
Honestly, both. I learn from mistakes and I learn from success. Because if I do something successful.
But if you ignore one and not the other, there's like a hole.
Wait, I think.
Yeah, there'll be like a disconnect there.
I think first you learn from your failure. Yeah. And then it calibrate, and then you get success at something, and then you have to be smart enough, like, let me keep replicating the success and learn from the success and keep doing that shit. Don't rock the pot.
Yeah.
Don't.
But besides just doing what worked, like, by your mistakes what not to do, while still trying new things with the thing that worked.
When it comes to women, you guys, when it comes to business, when it comes, maybe not fitness, I'm not really there yet, but when it comes to at least those two. The analogy I've told my students and guys is like, imagine I have a house, all right? We're in this big house, okay? Imagine that wall right in front of us here is every single thing I know the right way to do. It's all my collection of really good, amazing tips. All the tips you're going to learn right here in Modern Flirting.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But the rest of the house, every other wall in this house, the roof, the floor, is all shit I know not to do. It's all the stuff that didn't work. It's all like, fuck, all these bad lessons I'd like get shit on and beat on, like clobbered. Like that was, and to get this amazing wall, I had to get all of that, but that led to this. And then this wall can keep expanding because I keep seeing little things of what to do, and I just keep going from there. That's the way I look at it. But when it comes to, student, Ann is our, just for those who don't know, Ann is our newest coach here. At Modern Flirting, helping guys with their fashion and whatnot. What have you seen? Now, granted, it's been very, very new. Obviously we just started here, but any theme or anything you're noticing with students of what you think is holding them back?
Failing to listen to the coaches. I notice this all the time. There's some students that just they'll say XYZ, do this. Okay, I'll do it. And then they show up and we're like, did you do it? No. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I did. Okay, so tell it to me right now. Or like, okay, give me an opener. What was the first thing that you were given for free before even paying? Is like a book, and in the back, like this big, it's a shit ton of openers, and you don't know any.
Holy shit, I thought I had a good answer.
And what's like the easiest thing to do? Like, I don't know what to say. You can stack your openers. And you were given them right off the rip, but you don't know them?
Where? What? The book on opening.
You don't even know the book. Like, first of all, you paid to join the program. You're not doing the actual course or whatever, and then you didn't even do the book that was free. Like,
I don't know. How do I know what to do? Only a roadmap was given to you. A literal map to check out.
Too. I'm not going to name names like this. I've seen this multiple times, and like you said, I am new. I am a beginner. Like, we'll do custom stuff for people, and they don't do the basic, and they don't even do the custom. It's like we literally broke it down piece by piece by piece by piece and babyfied it to you. Like, we even go over it with you on calls. Like, we're spoon feeding you, and you're just
we're baby birding it.
I feel like she's too young and new to have this level of frustration with the coaching world, but it's so true.
Years into it.
I wait till a few years.
You have your foot in your mouth. It's like,
do you think that there's something more deep that's going on as to why they're not? I feel like there's something that's either holding them back. I don't know if it's just laziness, but maybe there's other mental blocks that are there that is preventing them from actually.
I know what you mean. I don't laziness. That is a good excuse, but some of them,
they don't really want it as much as
really
they think.
Successful guys, and you can't get successful with being lazy. And some of them are really muscular. You can't get muscular without eating right and going to the gym. So it's there could be a block or something, but they're not lazy people. It's just kind of maybe there is a mental disconnect or block or something, but
That's a great question. Normally I speak with authority. I'm like this, and this, and I know this, whatever. This one, this is something
Did I trump Jared right now?
Well, hold on. I got ideas, man. I'm an idea guy.
Fire it out, noodle it.
Here's the thing. It's really, really hard for me to empathize with that, and I love to try to empathize with a student on the pain, on the struggles, on the frustrations, on the rejections I got by women. I can empathize all day. But on this, to not take advantage, and I know Cosmo feels the same. Shout out to Cosmo and our head coaches here, and we've talked about this a lot. It is really hard for us to empathize because when we were students, we were just bowing and like whatever you say, and we were fighting for any fucking scrap that we can get, and we would I would take painstaking notes, and I would immediately I took a line or a routine. I'm like, I'm going out tonight. I am drilling it now. I am thank the heavens for this, and it was gratitude and amazement and.
Do you think maybe it's like pride? They're taking it for granted. They think they don't need it, but they're still showing up, so they think that's maybe enough.
I think there's some egos in this kind of, but I think what it is they don't respect the game. Like, men come into fitness and they come into business and they respect that game. They're like, they come into the gym and you got a personal trainer like, this is going to be the really most pain day of my life, bitch. And they're like, oh God, this is going to be hard. I know it. Like, they're ready.
Right.
They come into business like, we're going to make $1 million. You're going to have to sweat. You're going to have to give up you're going to have to kill your mother. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, this is the hardest thing. And they're like, they come in and they respect the game. They're like,
right. I'm
going to have to slay. Like, you got Gary Vee screaming like, put out content, motherfucker. Put out more content. How much content are you putting out? 3 reels a day, Gary. 50 fucking reels. You're like, oh, okay. And like, they just respect it. They just know like, that's the game. They come into this, they're like, give me an opener, bitch. The opener? All right, I'm gonna go talk to her, and I'm gonna get laid. It's like,
and then they get mad if it doesn't work right away.
Yeah, like, and I think I maybe.
And then they blame the opener sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, Coach, you messed me up. It's like you were working at this for a month. I've had students who are like, it's been a month. How come I'm not at your level? And I'm like,
insulted.
Go fuck yourself. Are you kidding? I put in 3 years before I was proud of the skill set I had with 3, but it was like the Gary Vee line of like, you're gonna eat shit for 4 years until you eat caviar the rest of your life. And these guys, a lot of it. And I think maybe I actually, as I'm talking, I'm figuring out. You know what? You know when it's changed? You know what ruined it? Is when I got into it, when Cosmo got into it, this was called the community. It was a community. It was a secret. It was underground, and it was respected.
That was what I was trying to say.
I'm sorry.
I know, you guys. Let me talk.
It was a hard thing. We understood this was a hard thing, and then it stopped becoming the community. It became the industry, and marketing kicked in.
Yes, this is what I was trying to say. So as far as when it comes to what I think is happening, is now we have this entire internet community, or just community, regardless, industry, where people are bashing, like, you use a dating coach, like, because people take.
We always had that.
No, but people take, and this is what I was going to ask you, people take social skills for granted. And this is what I've realized too, like a lot of people, they think like, oh, you need help, like you need to pay for someone to teach this. And I feel like
we're going to save this for the next episode, because that's a whole nother, like, having shame of having a dating coach and the shame in your game and the problem of like learning as a skill.
It adds to the disrespect, I think, because maybe there. Right.
I see that. But my whole point is, I think the marketing of 3 simple, and I don't know why he hasn't done this with business. Maybe they see through it in business. And Brent's to blame for modern flirting. So if you see any of our ads that say 3 simple tricks, blame Brent there, because he's the one writing that stuff. But the truth is, I'm sorry, Brent. I'm gonna ruin probably our marketing. Everyone's gonna burn me alive, and this is probably the worst business decision of all time. This is going to take some elbow grease. This is going to be tough. You have to respect it. I'm not saying it's not reward. It'll be the most rewarding thing you've ever done. I've lost 30 pounds. I've made $1 million. I've got good with women. I've got an amazing social circle. That third one was the most fulfilling part of all of this. Getting a relationship, building up my social circle, knowing I could walk up to any girl, strike a conversation, and have that more than the other 2 was, ironically, the one people respect the least, and was absolutely the most rewarding and fulfilling. And I don't understand why people don't respect it more, but I think the marketing aspect, I saw the change at that point. It became an industry. The marketing went out, the YouTube videos, all that stuff, and then people were like, just give it to me, versus how do I get it? When I came in, it was like, how do I get it? What do I got to do? What do I got to see and read? What do I got to learn? Versus like, all right, you coach guy, come on.
Because what you're saying is that it was a little more private. And it was a little bit
It was a
harder.
secret society. It doesn't get more private than that. It was
Right.
Jamie, it was Skull and Crossbones. It was Fight Club. It was like, I swear to God. Okay, I think we talked about this in a previous episode, but I vividly remember being in a Barnes & Noble with my secret wingman from the lair and going to approach women at a bookstore, and there it is. We see a guy reading the game, and I'm whispering to my friend, to my wingman, I'm like, should we tell him? Do we let him know like who we are and what we do? And he's like, I don't know, man. I think he's got to find it for himself. Like, this was the real conversation. He's like, he's got to find it for himself. He won't respect if we tell him. I don't know, man. He's reading the game. Maybe we should let him know and blow his mind. He's like, no, I don't know. We're like debating this shit. Like, do we let him into the fucking thing? And it's like, it was a big deal. That's what I'm trying to get across. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, it was Skull and Crossbones. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to join Skull and Crossbones, all you got to do is sign up for Modern Flirting. That's
And then
Modern.
wait outside the house for 3 days.
But seriously, guys, look, we got to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed this. Every single episode has been so fun. I got to have, Jamie and the Daily Flirt here back again and again. All we ask in return, if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, subscribe. Don't miss on the next episode. We're going to be giving you a lot more fun stuff. And leave a comment. Let us know what you think of what you would like an episode to be on so we can, really get to the stuff that matters, like sluts and pups. So thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Bye, guys.